everyone. We are back with Dr. Grillo and Dr. Ricco, and they're going to be talking about their experience at the Liceo Bisaza Educators Program
Good
over
job.
spring break. They had went over to Sicily and London.
Your Italian is very good.
Oh,
Better than mine. I was not going to attempt.
Did you take Spanish?
like in middle school a little bit, but
It's very
Chinese
similar
here. Yeah. So Dr. Ricco, well, tell us about your experience.
Well, this was 7 years in the making. I organized it with Matilde Galliano and a woman named Irene in English, Irene in Italian, Davi. Unfortunately, she couldn't come. She's going through some health issues.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
But
she feels better.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully I'll send this to her.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to do this early March 2020, about 5 years ago, but COVID hit.
Yeah.
A few of us still went, and basically, as soon as we landed, they said it's canceled, but we still met some of the people. So this is great. Finally, it happened, and we want to continue on with this. But this is a dream come true. For me, personally, I did it to, again, pay forward, because this is a place where my grandfather was born and great-grandparents, and if they had not left this island, I wouldn't have what I have today. I wouldn't have grown up a native English speaker. I wouldn't have had the resources that I have today, been able to go to university in America and then leave and go teach abroad as a native English speaker and get a PhD fully funded in South Korea because I was a native English speaker. So I wanted to give back to this island, which is a beautiful island, right? And it must have been very difficult for them to leave. That's the first thing that crosses my mind when you compare it to like where they went in New York. I mean, the climate and the topography and the mountains and the sea just doesn't compare to like where we grew up. So there was that, and then I think the presentations went great. My presentation was about we live in a gun culture here, and my partner on it, Brick Zeflin, who's a professor in Japan, we wanted to do something on the people who would visit the United States, whether it's studying abroad or just visiting, give them some vocabulary or phrases or knowledge on what to do if they were faced with an active shooter, because I was not prepared for it, because on December 6, 2023, when I got the texts from the University Police at UNLV, because I was working there at the time as a lecturer, I didn't know what run, hide, fight meant, even though we were given videos to watch and things like that. And Dr. Grill and I both talked about it. We were given these videos and things, but unless you're really put into that situation and drilling it and learning it, you may not know how to react. So we wanted to give them some data-driven vocabulary based on FBI guidance, school district guidance, 911 transcripts of what the language they need to know, just basic essential vocabulary, technical vocabulary. And the one thing that showed up a lot in our research was run, hide, fight. So we talked about that, how we discovered this data, the approach, which was my part, and then Brick's part was the pragmatics, how to actually use it and what it means and how to intonate and how to actually put it into use, the language. So I thought that went well. One other thing that I did, and thank you for bringing those books over.
You're welcome.
We had schools from around the district donate books. Believe it or not, this school did not have an English section in their library of books. They don't have a ton of money, and for some reason they didn't have. So we donated some books. Now they have an English section in their library, and we'll roll the video in here. We have a video of that where we donated it.
We put them over here.
Okay. So, Signora Galliano?
Gaiano, yes.
So what are we doing here?
This is our library,
Yeah.
and we want to create an English section with these wonderful books that we donated to the school. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Where should I put this?
Here, thank you.
And your book will be like.
Huh? No, Dada. Okay. Shelf kept on dropping them.
So I think it was a great success. And then I'm really a big proponent in cultural exchanges, which I think Dr. Grillo, even though we're Italian Americans, this is a different culture, Italian American, than Italy or even Sicily. Sicily is a different culture than Italy, different parts of Italy. Sicily was its own kingdom. There were two kingdoms of Sicily. Very much different, the culture in Sicily than, say, Rome. The food, the cuisine, the dialect. Sicilian was its own language, which sadly isn't being spoken as much anymore.
Discrimination.
Yeah,
Even among the Italian people, there is still discrimination towards Sicily. Matter of fact, growing up in New York City, I'll just take a second of your time. Growing up in New York City, I can remember so I'm 1/4 Sicilian, we would say that, and 3/4 Napolitan. Napolitan means come from Naples.
Mm-hmm.
Naples is the city, Napoli in Italy. Okay. And I can remember as a kid buying pizza in the neighborhood Italian pizzeria, and my mom kidding around with the people who worked in the pizzeria. And what about? And she said, "Well, my family is 3/4 Napolitan and 1/4 Sicilian." And the guy, and I was about 14, and the guy actually said, he's laughing because Sicily is not part of Italy, right? So he meant it. There's discrimination against Sicily from the rest of Italy.
Yeah. And I don't know how much that goes on today.
I don't
still,
know. Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
they fly the Italian flag, so
they fly the Italian flag. They also fly the Sicilian flag, which is in my office. We could roll a picture of that in too, which has Medusa on it, and it's shaped like a triangle, because the island's shaped like a triangle. Medusa, the Greek mythology. So many cultures, so many places invaded Sicily. The Greeks, the Carthaginians. Parts of Africa, parts of Arabia.
Sicily's mentioned in the Bible.
Yep.
I mean, in the book of Acts, the Apostle Paul is going back to Rome, and they land in Syracuse. Syracuse is the bottom eastern side, the southeastern side of Sicily is the city of Syracuse. So, I mean, there's a lot of Sicily all over the place. Yeah.
So, in the Sicilian language, there's actually, and even towns, there's Arabic influence in the language, and even some of the towns, Salam something is a town, something like that, and that comes from when the Arabics ruled there. So there's Greek ruins there that people say are better than the ruins in Greece, in Agrigento, which I hope next time you get to see. Yeah. So it's a rich with culture. It's quite the melting pot. Sicily, but
so there's a mix of people there too.
Yeah, historically, you have people who came down from Spain, the Normans from Europe, Northern Europe, the Romans, the Greeks, the Moors from Africa, Northern Africa. Like I said, people from the Arabic part of the world, the Middle East. So it is very mixed. Yeah.
So it's kind of similar to U.S.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it is. You have people who, different. Some people have light hair, light eyes. Some people, have darker hair, darker complexions. It's very mixed, very mixed area. It is beautiful. It's very diverse. Where northern Italy, they're on the border from Switzerland, and they have the lighter feature, and they're taller too.
In Austria, right?
Yeah, in Austria.
In Austria, yeah.
Yeah. So yes. Sicily's a very diverse place, and very proud to be mostly. I'm the opposite of you. I'm 75% Sicilian and a quarter Calabrese.
Okay.
When we were in Messina, we could have swam to Calabria, which is right across from Messina. If you're looking at Sicily, the map of it, it's the toe.
Right.
And the boot.
And it's called the Strait of Messina, which is a small strait between Sicily at Messina and then Italy.
So we got to go over there sometime.
And it's reasonably priced too, Sicily. Yeah, as far as Italy, Rome in the north is more expensive.
Sure.
What currency do they use?
Euros.
Yeah. Okay.
And we were surprised. We thought we were going to have to use more cash but it's changed a lot, and most places took credit cards, and that's where you get your best exchange rate.
Yeah.
So when we first landed, we went to the airport and tried to exchange U.S. dollars. They wanted to give us 65 euro for $100, where if you look it up online, it should have been 91 euro for $100. So they were trying to rip us off. So it's really wise, if you can, use your credit card and then pull the money out of the bank and the ATM. You go to the ATM there. That's where you get your best exchange rates. And
That's the only time I changed money was we wanted euros to take the bus in Messina, and we needed euros and I didn't have any. That's the only time I changed was through an ATM machine. I changed $100 into euros.
that was it. And otherwise, you use credit card. London, I didn't use any. That's a totally different currency. That's the pound.
Yeah.
And we used the credit cards the whole time there.
Right.
So, you guys have been to Sicily before?
No.
This is your first time.
This is my second time.
Second time.
Mhm.
What was it like the first time, and then coming back the second time? What were some differences there?
Well, first time was COVID.
COVID.
So I don't think I got the
A
full
lot of differences
yeah,
there.
and it was just starting to heat up, and then lockdowns and things like that in the north of Italy. But it was starting to shut down, and so it was different. I was only there for about 4 days, and I had my family this time, and we were able to have the event. So it was wide open,
Wow.
and so to sum up this trip, it's the 3 C's for me. Okay, the conference. Okay. Which I thought went off great. Unbelievable. And the second segment was Comune, which is I went to the city hall where my great-grandfather was born and touched his birth record, which was 126 years old. It was very emotional. And then touched my great-great-grandparents' marriage record. They opened up these books. I'll put a few pictures in here. You could edit them in. We could edit them in. Met the mayor of the town at the Comune. Shout out to Francesco, who is 007 Records, Italian company in Italy. He's also an attorney. He dug up the records. He puts these genealogical tours together. And then we went to the church where my great-grandfather's family was all baptized. So that was amazing. Then the third C is Cugini, which is
I don't know.
cousins.
Oh,
Okay. Went to go see cousins. Actually, I might have met a new cousin in Alta Via Malicio on that tour. There was a Locaccio there, and she thinks she might have been my cousin. But anyhow, I did go to Menfi, which is down in Agrigento, and saw my grandmother's first cousins. My grandmother, I don't know, she would have been 100-something years old now. She died in 88. She was 75, but she had a cousin there who was 95 and 90 and 88. And I saw them and some other cousins and met other cousins. And, geez, that was great. The food kept coming, and then they take you for a ride and come back, and you think you're done, and another meal comes out. And more cousins. And this goes on till midnight. So that was the trip. Conference, Comune, Cugini.